Today I'm bringing you a review of A Death in the Family by Michael Stanley. It's the fifth Detective Kubo novel, and it's written by the duo of Michael Sears and Stanley Trollope using the pseudonym Michael Stanley. And this is a detective novel. It centers around Detective Kubo, a Botswanan detective. In this book, his father is murdered, and Kubo is not allowed to take part in the investigation, which obviously causes him a lot of grief, but he is brought in on a different investigation. And I should say up front that I received this book as a free reading copy from the author, but I have endeavored to not allow that to affect my review in any way. I really hate to say that I was kind of disappointed in this novel. I was really excited to get my first ARC and to check out something new. I don't read a lot of detective novels. I've read some of the classics, Sherlock Holmes or Agatha Christie, but I don't read very many. And I was excited about this one, but frankly, it fell a little bit flat for me. It felt quite cliched, and so I'm having trouble thinking of how to recommend that for you as a reader. If you don't read detective novels, I really don't want to start you out on one that isn't a great experience. And if you read a lot of detective novels, I think you would find this one a little bit predictable, but it has a few things going for it. It is set in Botswana, so if you're looking for diversity, I know some people have done book challenges this year, and if you need something that's set in a different country where you're learning about a different culture, this would be great for you. I did learn a little bit about the culture of Botswana that I wasn't expecting to, learned a few new words, and that was a lot of fun. Otherwise, the characters are the biggest problem to me. I had trouble connecting with any of them. They felt like very flat characters, and I couldn't really sympathize with them much. I could intellectually, but I couldn't emotionally connect with them. And I think there are two reasons for that. The first is that you hear from too many different characters. It's written in an omniscient third person, so basically they can use any character's point of view at any time, and they can get inside their heads. You can hear their thoughts, and they do swap between characters. I think you're in like half a dozen different characters' heads at various points in the novel. And that was difficult for me because you don't get enough to connect with any single character. So I think that would be a good change to limit the point of view. I think the other problem is just that the characters feel like sketches of a character. You have the frustrated, brilliant detective, you have the angry boss, you have the marginalized female detective, and they're just so typical that it's hard to get into them. The plot has a few interesting twists. It's kind of convoluted, but it takes a really long time to get to an ending that I could see coming a really long way off. And so I really hate to say, but the whole book kind of fell flat for me. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't like it necessarily. It's gotten some good reviews from other readers and from the press. Other books in the series have gotten good reviews from the press. So it may be worth a try if you want to pick it up. It's not really long. It's a really light read if you're just looking for something fun. Or you could start with the beginning of the series. I wonder if that's part of the reason I couldn't connect with it is because I was missing development that they stretch out over the whole series. That happens a lot. So if you want to go back to the first book in the series and give that a try, you might like it more. But in general, I really can't recommend this one, which makes me really sad. But I would love to hear from you guys. If you like this review, like it. And if you want more reviews, please subscribe. And in the comments, tell me if you have read Detective Kubo, what you thought, if you have other suggestions of books that you think I would be interested in reading, or if you just want to talk about what you're reading. I would love to hear in the comments.